Now guys, we will continue of course with the head. What else? But yeah, we will not continue with the hands since we haven't started them yet. But when we start them, you will see that this will be the case. We'll continue from them. So let's see. Now it's a good idea when you have a concept to look at your model exactly in the way your concept is, so you can see the differences and stuff. So for now I see my kind of this area here of the cheekbone in the front, that here, since it's stylized character, it's a kind of a sharp shape. So let's try to achieve this a little bit sharp shape there. We'll see what if it will be nice. So now it's a little bit sharper than before. I'm not sure this, I will leave it this sharp, since for even stylized characters, but if they are female characters, we don't like to have that sharp lines. But this character, since it's a punk character, probably it could have some sharp lines. Okay, I'm trying to achieve a little bit more the vision of the concept. Maybe move these parts a bit back like this, or move this a bit front. You see how she has this kind of upper lip like this. Although I'm not sure I want to do that. Let me try to push this a bit. No. Yeah, I'm testing, but in our case I think this will be the further we go, maybe we can separate those a bit more. But nothing too much. I mean, I will not make it exactly as the concept, obviously. Another thing I want to show you is, let me think. I want to show you how I made my materials. How I just I'm using, let me show you, yes, let me tell you. I'm using the basic material most of the time. So, the base material, I go to the material, which is here. It's, most of the time it's here, but I dock it in here. So, material, how to dock, material, or whatever, and you click this icon, this little tiny like thing here, and you dock it. So after that you go to modifiers, and then you increase the ambient to like, maybe, let me try with the mouse, because sometimes the tablet is not working that much. 11 is okay, and then you increase the diffuse too. This will make our model a little bit like too much, but when we put colors on it, like now I can kind of make it a bit more like this, yes. So yeah, I just changed the color, but I'm not applying this color yet. This color is for every subtool now that I will put in. The new subtool, every new subtool will have this color that I chose here. Whatever. So other thing I do is I close modifiers and I go to mixer. And in the mixer we don't have too much options available, but we have this outline option. So notice when I increase it to the maximum, how we have an outline around our object. So for stylized characters, this is amazing. Very nice to work with this kind of thing, but not that much. I mean, like 0.4 or 0.3 is around that is the best. So now our kind of face of our character is starting to look pretty nice. We need to put some eyes. But first, you know, I'm kind of running away from the eyes. I'm not making them yet. Why? I want to be sure that my head shape is correct and everything, so I don't move the eyes too much when I put them. Yeah, this is just my preference. Of course, you can move the eyes. It's not a big deal if you move them, but I just don't want to do that. So yeah, let's just push a bit the corners of the mouth, just a little bit like this, and then let's make the eyes at last. So we go to subtool of the tool menu, the tool, subtool, and then we go to append. And when we go to append, nothing happens, just something appears and disappears. We go to append and we hold the mouse inside this window here. If we go outside, it just disappears. So I go to Sphere 3D, and now she looks pretty much nice as some kind of a, yeah, very nice high-tech character. Now I will make the eye. eyeball. The eyeball, since her eyes are kind of a normal size, they are not super stylized, the eyeball probably should be the normal size too. The normal size of the eyeball is when you have your kind of a face figured out, how wide it will be and everything, the eyeball will be on the widest part of the face, 6 eyeballs will be one face. So what I'll do is control drag this eye, and I will try to not touch it exactly, but yeah. Then another one, so there will be 3, and then I will drag, I will release the mask and drag all those on the side. So 6 eyes. So you see, this eyeball that I made looked pretty good, but now you see that it's 5 eyeballs, the whole head. We need to make the eyeball a little bit smaller. And yeah, maybe not exactly. I mean, I will leave it like this. Why? Because it's a stylized character. But for the normal character, be careful, because if you make the eyes for a normal character that will be, for example, a likeness of some female star or whatever, you have to make the eyeball very small. And the rest of the eye width will come from the eyelids, the tear things here, and the eyelashes. So I will Control Z, and I will use this eyeball, and I will push it through here. Yes, so the idea is that the eyeball should be where the eye is, where the eye opening we made is, a little bit more inward. So now I'm seeing that maybe it should be more out of the head in this direction. And now I will adjust everything to this eyeball, to this eyeball. So I will adjust the lower eyelid. Just I will make my camera go like this, and then I will adjust my upper eyelid, which will be a little bit thicker. And then we have the eye. This eye doesn't look bad, so I will mirror it. And I mirror the head. So I'll Control Z, go to the eye and mirror it. Sometimes we make mistakes. And I will press X, so I have symmetry. And now she looks a little bit more human, a little bit more, not nice. She shouldn't be nice. I mean, nice character. She's a kind of a badass girl. At least that's what I'm imagining her. Of course, when you see the whole concept, you notice that she's very thin, but maybe she's thin and kind of mean. Yeah, thin and mean. Why not? Thin or thin but mean. Because you see, if she's kind of a thick, or can I say fat? I'm not sure. These days you are absolutely not sure what you can say or not say, what's offended and not offensive and not offensive. But let's say thick or big bones. Yeah, basically. We all know that there is no such thing. I mean, yeah, the bones are kind of similar. You can have kind of a more bigger bones, but that doesn't mean that you have to be fat, you know. Yeah. So what I was saying is that, whatever, let's continue with the eyes. It doesn't matter about that the fat girls are more like fighter girls or whatever, no. Thin and mean will be our girl. Alright, so now the ears, they don't look too bad, but they don't look like, oh no. Okay, let's make them big, just for fun, just to see what's happening. We have time, it's not a problem. No, we have to put our pivot exactly and press the local symmetry, by the way, because without local symmetry you see what happens, and with local symmetry you see what happens. Exactly what we want. I think those ears are pretty nice, but no. Let's increase the nose. What I'm doing is I'm showing you that so if our pivot is, when we scale the nose, for example, if our pivot is here, it will do this, even with the local symmetry. Our pivot should be, without I'm moving it, in the center of the face. And when it's in the center of the face, then we can increase the size of the nose. It's a little bit bigger, but it's nice. I think even with this big nose, she kind of looks fine, because all the other features are nice. When your mouth is kind of good, your chin, your overall face form, then even if you kind of make one of the forms a bit dominant, like I did with the nose or the ears, it doesn't look super bad. But it could look bad even if all your things are kind of normal size, but some proportions are wrong. Yeah, we have to be careful about everything, basically. So to make the eyes, what I do mostly and overall all the time is I do fast eyes, if we can say fast eyes. So Control D to get a little bit more resolution on the eyes, and then I will make a big iris, and she's looking I will remove the perspective, by the way, because I don't need it. And the iris, this kind of a color part of the eye, is the diameter of it is half of the diameter of the whole eyeball. So it's a little bit bigger than this probably, but let's leave it like this. Maybe a little bit bigger. Yeah. If we have to, we can make the eyes smaller. But we will inverse the mask, then we'll go to inflate, inflate it a bit, and then we will smooth it a lot. And then I will do the inflate brush, just a little brush with the inflate brush, and then shift and smooth a lot. So we have this kind of a thing. Then we will fill that with black, complete black. And the other parts of the eye, I'm reversing the mask now, we'll fill it with kind of a white, but maybe a little bit not so white. I mean, the white of the eye is not exactly ultra white, so we have to be careful. So I will invert the mask again, and here I will do what? Let's see, what kind of color are their eyes, are her eyes? Let's go to Z. When I press Z, this came out, and I can move it, and I see they're kind of violet eyes. Let's make them violet. Why not? We'll make them. And how to make violet eyes. Okay, we go to the violet. This. Maybe a little bit darker. And just go with alpha. Alpha is the brush that I made, is the same as the standard brush, exactly the same brush, but not in the standard brush. You see the Z-add is selected here up. In the alpha brush, the RGB is selected. So this is the difference. So I go with this and I make kind of this. Of course, I concentrate my efforts in the lower part, and I kind of leave something like a border with a little bit blacker color. Then I will go with more kind of with lighter and just do this. Then I'll go with even lighter saturated color and do a bit more of this, and then we'll go with a very dark and go over the upper part. Of course, much darker would be better. Even black, it will be nice. Okay, but black is not good. I mean, let's make it very saturated. Yes, like this. Why I'm making this kind of thing? Because the eye of the outer area of the eye is transparent, and it has this kind of protrusion, the lens. But the inner area of the eye, where the color is inward. It's like a cone inward, and then it's the hole, the black hole, for the light to come in. So this kind of a color part is like a cone, but inward. And when the light comes most of the time from the top, it kind of keeps this upper part of the eye, which is here, it keeps it in shadow, and the lower part, it lightens it. That's why I'm making this. It's pretty logical if you kind of think about it. And then we will make with the complete black the middle part like this. And the eye still, it doesn't look super nice, but I will show you how we can make it look good. So now the head, you see, it's a little bit wide. Why? Because we don't have perspective. With perspective on, let me see. The perspective, by the way, is a little bit too much. Yeah, because I restarted ZBrush, and sometimes when we restart ZBrush, and mostly every time, it changes some settings to the default ones, but it doesn't matter for us since we are cool. Okay, now our eyes kind of look nice, but we need more. So we need to make them with the material named toy plastic. This is very commonly used for eyes, and you will see why. We go to mRGB, not just M. Because if we go to mRGB, it will fill it with this color now and it will be bad. So we fill it with the material only, and we go back to the basic material and we are set. We go to RGB here and we are fine. And now you see the eyes are looking pretty nice. She is looking a little bit off, by the way. I don't like exactly the look of her now. And we can go to the face again and make some changes with the move brush until we start to like her more. Just a few tiny changes. Maybe the nose should be bigger, yes. I think her nose here is much bigger than ours. So we can do this. Of course, stylization means that we don't make too much detail on the face. We don't make too much things like, for example, these. If we do them, no. So everything is more smooth. But there are different types of stylization, and ours now, I think it's looking relatively good, although we can make this. So from the inner part of the eye, we go a little bit down and out, and then from the nose, from the nostrils, we go up and we dig. And this will be kind of an angular transition for the nose. And this looks kind of nice. It's even in normal people you can see basically this kind of transition sometimes. And for her to look more feminine, what we'll do is just increase the size of her cheekbones. When we make a bigger cheekbone, she will look a bit more feminine. And you notice this line here. It should go up, down, I mean it should go down to the corners of the mouth, but not exactly down like this. It should go like kind of this. And then smooth. We always smooth. We don't leave it unsmoothed. Except if we have to make something flat, then we can get the corners like here a bit with a pinch brush. We can just take them a little bit. So the other thing I like to do is maybe move the eyes a little bit up. I'm not sure. Let's try that. Let's go to the eyes, move them up. Ooh, not the face, the eyes. Or just move the head down. You see how now she's looking a little bit better? And also, if we go to the eyes and we kinda change, not change, but we go to this color. With C, I can select the color. So in ZBrush, if you want to select a poly paint, I will Control D just to have smoother this kind of a thing on the eye. If you want to select a color, you just hover the color and press C. C, C, C. You see? You see? C. Okay. Now what I'll do is I will go with the RGB intensity low, but not on this brush, on alpha brush, low RGB intensity, and just do this. This is the shadow. This is very important, by the way. The shadow that the eye kinda the upper eyelid the shadow that the upper eyelid is kind of putting on the eye. It's very important. Without this shadow, most of the time your eye will look odd, and they most likely will look like this. This shadow is pretty important. So now our character is looking pretty fine. Let me just make her more colorful. I will fill her with this color for now, and we'll continue from there. Oops, not this. Yeah, by the way, I filled this a little bit, so yeah. Okay, I have to fill a few times because RGB intensity low, but I think it's good. So now she's looking kind of good. Let's go another subdivision up. Now for the final details on the head. We go like 300, drag this and start smoothing. After that, by the way, if I can remember, I will tell you how to open the mouth of the character, because some people were asking me, okay, but in your courses you don't say how to make open mouth character which will talk in animation, for example, or it will smile or whatever. Okay, I will show you, it's not a big deal. I mean, it's pretty easy and nothing to kind of worry about. So the upper eyelid, we'll go again and refine it with the down standard brush very easily. Go here. Then we will push this area and we will look from this side to see if this is the triangular shape. From the side view, the eye kind of have this triangular shape pointing back, which is good. The eyelids, you have to be very careful with them so they are kind of smooth. What I mean by that, don't have this kind of things like I have here. For example, from top view, your bottom eyelid should have the same thickness all over all around, not like me, not like in my case. So, and also here in the bottom, you just dig a bit, dig it, like I told you in the beginning. You have to dig it, push, and then we may go with a clay toothbrush and a little push the bottom eyelid and make it more flat, and then smooth it. You see how it goes? It's not bad. But we still don't have the final resolution probably, yeah. So I want this to be a sharp transition here, so I will go with my pinch brush and I just do this, but small pinch brush, because I don't want to pinch everything. I want to pinch only this thing inside, and also we'll go here and make this kind of a tier thing in here. It's not mandatory to make it, since this is a stylized character, but you know, stylized characters, especially not heavily stylized like this one is pretty close to the normal, pretty close to the real one. So we may have, or we will have, a lot of things in common with a normal person, basically. And that's absolutely normal. Then we'll go to the mouth and just with the down standard brush again, I will push with Alt, and by default, by the way, the down standard brush is the opposite of the other brushes. Here it's not ZAD, but it's this sub. So by default, without Alt, you are subdividing, you are just pushing. But I always change that and I make it ZAD, like the rest of the brushes. So I'm doing this kind of a cutting with the Alt. So let me see, we have this kind of a lighting on the lower lip. We'll see, and here we are, yeah, we are kind of good, although maybe we can push the lower lip a bit inward, and we can do a little bit of meat we can add in this area, and this basically is nice. It will make our character probably a little bit more attractive. Yes. Not too much, just a tiny bit. And most of the time you see, if you notice, I don't know if you can notice, but most of the time artists are making a little bit of a white kind of an outline around the upper eyelid because it catches more light or whatever, but sometimes we just have to push just over the upper eyelid. Just push it like this and then smooth just the upper part of this push. You see how it goes? And then your lip will catch more light in the top. I think it's good. Yeah, our character is not exactly as the concept, but the idea is to be kind of a good looking. Because if we do it like the concept, it will be pretty much something like this, and then it will be something maybe like this. It will not look beautiful. I mean, if we make her look exactly like the concept from the point of view of the concept, we will lose some other points of view and it will be bad. So sometimes when artists are making those kind of characters, they are making them very good. I mean, the 2D artists, because it's a 2D art, so it can look good even if some things are off. Even if, for example, the nose is a little bit on the side, but it doesn't make the impression. I mean, when you do this in 3D, then the hard part is coming. So you have to be careful about this. Of course, most of the time when we work in the industry, the concept artist is making the concept, then the concept artist is participating in the 3D. How? I'm making the 3D until this point, for example, and I'm just giving him a screenshot of this, and he's drawing over it to tell me what to change and what could be nice, because now he has a base which is correct 3D, and he can kind of feel his ideas on it. So in this case we will get closer maybe to this character, but we don't have a 2D artist to help us, so we will continue as we are. Some 2D artists, 3D artists, some 3D artists are so good that they're making the concept better than the original. And this I did, of course, but not with such good concepts. For example, this concept, this exact one, is very nice. So it's difficult with a very nice concept to make it better than the original. For a not so nice concept is much easier. With a bad concept is super easy to make it better than the original, but I will tell you this, and be careful. If you work from a bad concept, I mean not that good, you can make it better than the original, but it will never be. Your 3D will never be as good as with a good concept. Because if you have a very nice concept, very beautiful, very nice forms and very nice everything, we have to finish the video, but let me tell you, you can make it a little bit worse, a little bit not as good as the original, but it will still be very good. But if you're making something out of kind of a middle concept, you will make it a little bit better than this concept, but it will never be as good as your 3D from a very nice concept. So try to make your 3Ds from nice concepts, or real life also is a possibility. So I see you in the next video, because we don't have time in this one. Yeah, I just didn't look at the clock.